Very good. And now for the moment I believe that most of you are here for, I will present to Robert S. Sanders, Esquire, a proclamation. And for those of you who don't know, but obviously most of you do know, Mr. Sanders has served the city, its residents, and businesses during the past 4 decades. He has served the public and leadership in many capacities, including city manager, city attorney, director of economic development, and is a longtime member and board chairman of the Downtown Development Authority. Mr. Sanders has overseen the development of transformational projects and has been a dedicated board member and fundraiser for so many numerous charities. And as I present this proclamation to Mr. Sanders, I pay tribute to Robert Sanders and declare today, August 22nd, 2022, as Robert Sanders Day. And I'll bring this down to you, Bob. Say a few words?
Yes, please. More than a few.
Just got some fun.
Take this, please. No. Prefatory, please excuse my faltering words and my frequently referring to my notes. I've taken strong medications this evening, and I don't want to overlook any of my comments. I'm immensely gratified, and I sincerely acknowledge my heartfelt gratitude for receiving this precious tribute with which you are so graciously honoring me. I'm literally overwhelmed by this proclamation. First, I want to sincerely thank you, Mayor James, each member of this Honorable Commission, City Administrator Jay Johnson, our City Administration, Downtown Development Chair Rick Ritenis, Vice Chair Bill Jacobson, Executive Director Rafael Clemente, and my Honorable Rabbi Yoel Gans, and the many employees of our fine, exceptional, and outstanding city. Please know that I am exceedingly thankful for this award presented by you. I am so very pleased and honored that it is difficult for me to fully express my indebtedness and appreciation in words. This truly is a glorious moment for me that I will cherish this honor during the entire remainder of my life. It is with great respect that I stand before you to accept this award that I always will supremely value. It gives me a wonderful feeling in my heart being recognized for my years of volunteer efforts that I so willingly enjoyed and that I truly loved. I am extremely thankful to you for acknowledging me for this very meaningful tribute. My being a mayor of Mayor Nancy Graham's administration and serving this wonderful city for 5 years was one of the highlights of my career, and receiving this award is a great honor for me. It is Mayor Graham who deserves so much credit because it was her vision and her administration that put the city of West Palm Beach on its path to greatness. I am sincerely grateful to all those who helped me along the way during the last 40 years that I have lived and worked in West Palm Beach, and I am thankful to all of those who made this honorable distinction possible. When we become successful, we usually achieve that success because others have helped us. It would have been impossible for me to have been able to devote so many volunteer hours and have accomplished so many volunteer achievements without the guidance and support from my law firm. I convey my heartiest appreciation to them. As the maxim states, no man is an island. When we achieve, we do so because others have assisted us along the way. This tribute may have my name on it, but in truth it belongs to everybody who contributed to make my volunteer efforts a reality and successful. So there are many to whom I want to dedicate this honor, this tribute of excellence, without whom it would not have been possible for me to achieve this award. I particularly thank my employer, the international law firm of Greenberg Trarg, our two managing partners, Tracy Gerber and Mark Bedeau, to whom this honor really belongs. They offered their resources and their encouragement, and they supported my many volunteer efforts for the betterment of our city. They allowed me to attain my success over the past 22 years that I have been a member of the firm. This honor belongs to them as well. This night would never have been possible without their encouragement, their help, and their support. For that, I will always be grateful. I also especially want to express my deepest appreciation to Murray Goodman, the board chairman of the Goodman Company. Murray Goodman also made this award possible. He was my mentor. He taught me so very much that made me what I am today. It was his business acumen, his good judgment, and his vision that moved our company from Pennsylvania to West Palm Beach and allowed me to volunteer for the betterment of the city of West Palm Beach, its residents, its businesses, and its visitors. I thank Ken Himmel, Steve Ross, Jorge Perez, Gopal Rajadawa, and Lynn Harris of blessed memory for not only making City Place, now Rosemary Square, and our convention center possible, all of which made West Palm Beach nationally known. I also thank them for keeping every promise, every representation that they made 23 years ago. I thank the Board of Directors of the Downtown Development Authority, Rafael Clemente and his staff, for sharing their vision of a successful business community and for being so supportive. They understood what we were trying to achieve, and they helped make it possible. The generous gifts of time and expertise of DDA Board Chairman Rick Retenis, Vice Chair Bill Jacobson, and the DDA Board of Directors are deeply appreciated. I also thank two very brilliant entrepreneurs, Rob Samuels and Scott Diamond, whose many businesses brought many new visitors to our city, our hotels, our restaurants, and our retail shops, and who taught me so much and who contributed their resources to so many of my volunteer efforts. They supported and encouraged me through my decades journey of volunteerism. I thank Al Adelson for his vision in successfully developing ultra-modern condominiums, the Bristol that began a new era of upscale luxury condominiums being built in West Palm Beach, and that began bringing the owners of finance and other leading companies to West Palm Beach that required new Class A office space so they could move their headquarters and all of their employees to paradise. Paradise that is West Palm Beach. I express my deep appreciation, and I thank my family and my friends and colleagues who came this evening to join me and share in my appreciation for being given this very special tribute regarding my community service. It is very humbling. I am so very grateful to all who joined us this evening to share in my joy in receiving this award this evening. Tonight, unquestionably, is an incredible and glorious moment for me and one of the most significant events of my professional life. In closing, I feel it incumbent upon me to tell you that I positively was awestruck that you were contemplating me for this honor. When I recently was told that I would be receiving this tribute, to ensure that I would be able to attend this presentation tonight, it came as full amazement. I had no idea that I was being considered for this prestigious award. It truly came as a surprise, a very pleasant surprise, I must add. The only thing that I can say is that I express my sincere gratitude. Thank you, and thank you for bestowing this honor upon me. And again, I want to express how greatly pleased I am to be honored with this very meaningful tribute. To have been selected for this honor is indeed a great privilege, and I truly am overwhelmed. I sincerely hope that I've shown my sincere appreciation, my genuine gratitude to our city commission, this administration, for acknowledging me with this very prestigious honor. And as long as my health and our good Lord permits, I pledge that I will continue my many volunteer efforts in the future, and I will continue to support our city, our administration, our businesses, our residents, and our visitors. I would like to conclude with one of my favorite poems that I recite every night following my nightly prayers to God. The poem is entitled, "Do All the Good You Can," by John Wesley. Do all the good you can, by all the means you can, in all the ways you can, in all the places you can, at all the times you can, to all the people you can, as long as ever you can. Thank you.
Thank you, Bob, for those words, but this is certainly, that proclamation is certainly, you are certainly deserving of this. But get comfortable, because there are a few people who want to speak. But I do want to acknowledge a few dignitaries, beginning with my political mentor, Congresswoman Lois Frankel. I think she is... one of the strong mayors. Congresswoman, do you want to say a few words? You didn't fill out, right. I figured that.
Where do I go?
Things haven't changed that much.
No, I've never done this before.
Okay.
May it please the commission.
No, just...
Hello, everybody. Thank you. Thank you. It's so good to see so many, I'm not going to say old faces, but many of you are. But wow, it's fantastic. Bob, it is a pleasure to be here, not only to help honor you, but really to see so many people who've been so important to this city appreciate all that you've done. So I'm just here to heartfelt thank you. One thing I And Bob, you were a little modest, because Bob really was the person who put together all the pieces for what was then City Place, I guess now Rosemary Square, now the Square. I don't know if it's going to get any smaller, but you should be honored for that and for all your work for this city. And most important, I think anyone who really has known Bob is not only his love for his city, but his love for his family. And that, to me, has always been one of the highlights of your character. Thank you so much, Bob, and thank you, Mayor and Commission, for all you do.
Thank you, Congresswoman. We do have some other dignitaries in the room, including our state attorney, David Ehrenberg. I thought I saw him. Yes, hello, David. Mr. MSNBC. County Commissioner Greg Weiss. Dorothy Jacks, our property appraiser. And we do have a couple of cards here, beginning with the original strong mayor, Mayor Nancy Graham.
Thank you, Mayor. Those who know me know I'm usually shy and retiring, but I really thought that I needed to come up and say a few words about this wonderful gentleman who I think we might have known each other since we were in Pampers. I'm not sure, but it's been a long time. Before I do that, though, I have to make a couple of comments. It's so great to see you, Mayor, surrounded by all these wonderful women. You know, I hope that they are...
Truly an honor.
Trust me, those who remember when I was first elected strong mayor, I had Robbie Little sitting next to me every time. So, for those who remember, and I want to say a wonderful word about your city administrator, my longtime friend Faye, who I hired and made the first department director that we had in this city, and to see her in this position now, it just makes me very, very proud, Faye. And so. But to talk about Bob Sanders, you know, I was walking around the city today, and it's so wonderful to come back and see so many of the visions come to reality, not just the ones that we started with, but the ones that mayors who followed brought along and brought the waterfront from Mayor Frankel and just different ones, and it's incredibly exciting. And not a lot of people understood the vision in the beginning because there's City Place and others, and I said, eventually it'll fill in. But if you remember about the mid-'90s, we still had 80 acres of moonscape, I guess one would call it, with the Kravis Center under construction and the wonderful old historic church that had holes in the roof and birds flying out of it and all kinds of things. And that had been put together by Henry Rolfs and David Palladino, but it fell apart. We couldn't get any developers to come in and even look at it because they had over 400 parties that had an interest in it. And so it was impossible for that land to get developed. So the former city administrator, who I brought in, Mike Wright, former city attorney Pat Brown, and I sat down, and we came up with a kind of an idea of how we might be able to do that. I won't go into all the details because it's complicated. But as we were doing that, we said, well, who can we hire? Who can we bring in that will make sure everything gets done, all the I's get dotted, all the T's get crossed, and that will assume my position and go to department directors and then say, I need this today, I need that tomorrow, so they wouldn't get mad at me, they'd just get mad at him. But you know, we thought about it. Who can we trust? Who is smart enough? Who's just really going to do that? And we just came up with Bob Sanders, and it was the smartest decision we ever made with that project because he was there every minute of all the years we did it, every meeting we had. He and I we traveled to try to get retail tenants. And one of the last things I was thinking today, one of the last things that Bob and I did was to work out a swap with some drainage land so that Kravis Center could expand into its new expansion area. But I just, I don't think I can say enough about the importance of Bob and what he contributed to making City Place a reality, because it was an incredibly, incredibly complex project with so many issues. And there are a few of you that are here that, staff and stuff that were involved with that too. We brought the former city attorney Claudia McKenna came in. We brought Claudia in. I knew her from law school. We brought her in to handle all the foreclosures we were going to do. And I just will finish by saying, with the budget we put together and the project that we did, we finished that. The four of us came up with a budget. We finished it $250,000 under budget for that land acquisition. But Bob, I just want to say, I never could have accomplished a lot of things I did or my staff did or other people did had it not been for you and your support. And so I love you, and I didn't want to miss this opportunity to be here. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Mayor Graham. And I do have a card from Rick McKinnis, Chair of the DDA.
Honorable Mayor, City Commissioners, Rick McKinnis, Chair of the DDA at 801 South Olive. And I just wanted to thank you so much for doing the proclamation for Bob. Bob showed up here. We think he showed up here about 42 years ago. That's what the official record seems to say. And like so many transplants, he never left. Certainly, we never left his heart, and he's never left ours. And in that time, he has done most of it behind the scenes, and never really being out front. Done so much for the city and for the people who live in it. And I just want to thank you for this.
Absolutely. Commissioners, do either of you want to say anything during this time? All right, we'll start with President Fox.
Thank you so much. First, I want to say how nice it is to see this many people here who aren't mad at us tonight. So, but Bob, it has been such a pleasure getting to know you ever since I was running for office. You were so supportive, and even still to this day, you continue to send messages and prayers and texts, and I so appreciate it that besides all the other things that have been said tonight that you've done on behalf of our city. So I'm just so honored that we are able to recognize you tonight, and that you are supported by so many people here who love and support you, and thank you for all you've done.
Commissioner Lambert.
Thank you. One of my favorite things to do is to always watch the audience. And Bob, when you were speaking, I could just see the intent listening, the nodding of heads, the warmth in people's heart for all of the work that you've done and all of the impact that you have made on not only the people in this room, but throughout our city, throughout our community. And I just want to say thank you so much that you give me renewed hope in our city and renewed just passion for what everybody does in this community every day. And so I just want to say thank you for being an inspiration to all of us.
Commissioners, anyone else? Well, let me say it is so good. Well, first of all, Bob, this honor doesn't do you justice, doesn't do all of your efforts on behalf of our city justice, but it is so good to see so many persons in the audience who I think constitute the fabric of our city. So many of you out there have represented so much of the foundation of what we are now as a city. And I don't think there's anyone out there who would dispute the fact that West Palm Beach is, we're on the map. But we here, as elected leaders, mayor, commissioners, stand on the shoulders of so many of you out there. And the fact that you are here to acknowledge the contributions of Bob Sanders, I think Bob speaks volumes about who you are as a man, who you have been as a leader to the city. So thanks to Bob, thanks to all of you for coming. Thanks to all of you for being what you have been, what you continue to be for our city. Indeed, West Palm Beach would not be what we are today without the contributions of so many, of each and every one of you out there. And thank you. You didn't do it for money. You didn't do it for fame. There was something that you believed about this little old town that had you doing it. And because of your contribution and your efforts, we are where we are today as a city. So thank you. So we will end this portion of the meeting and probably have to pause a bit because I'm sure there are folks who are going to be walking out to a little party down the street. And if you walk quickly, then maybe the city commissioners and myself can join you later on. So please. Thank you again, Bob.